Hello, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Hey, season 5 going strong.
Yeah, some people commented on Patreon I saw, and I agree with them a little bit. The last episode where everyone was kind of a conflict heavy episode
Yes.
among people, right? Cast members, characters. That this is the first show, the first episode that really felt like a non-Sorkin episode that
I
really
agree.
took a departure from
I
that,
100% agree.
and I agree. Um,
There's a lot going on in that episode
right? There's
for
a
everybody.
yeah. It kind of harkens back to the pilot where it's an episode where
Yeah, sort of.
Josh very largely and publicly blew it
Yeah, I like
with
that.
his mouth, right?
I like that it kind of did harken back to that first episode,
Right.
Because it is kind of like a. I don't want to say hit the reset button, but it is a new storyline. We're starting
Yeah,
fresh, basically now, officially with this new showrunner, and we're headed in new directions.
yeah. We're wrapping up a lot of the storylines that Sorkin left for them to resolve, and
Yes.
now that we're 6 episodes into the season,
Yeah.
they've kind of resolved those, and now it's like,
Yeah.
well, now it's our own thing we've got to do. And the one that really stood out to me is the one that I'm kind of like on the fence about, and we don't know how it's going to go, but Will leaving the administration to go work for Bob Russell.
It's a choice. I don't know how it's going to pay off. Obviously, I wouldn't have made that decision,
Yeah, well,
but I'm curious to see where it goes. I really am.
but it almost feels like a retcon a little bit on what his role is on the
It
show,
really
because
does.
he just joined the cast
In a way,
in the
it
role
is. It is right.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the role that he had, right? He just took Sam's job. He was the guy that was going to be in charge of a lot of the speech writing stuff while Toby was in charge of the big picture stuff, right? And now that's completely blown up. I don't know if we get another deputy communications director, if we replace Will. I don't know how much Will's going to be on the show now that he's kind of working in another part of the building, ostensibly.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be back a lot as the voice of the vice president. I think we're going to see an awful lot more of Bob Russell than we ever saw
I think so. 'Cause
of Tim Matheson because of it, right?
there's no way you get rid of Josh Molina.
No, he's not going
That's what I'm saying.
anywhere. Right.
That's why we are going to see more of Bob. We're going
Right.
to see more of that department because he's not going anywhere.
Well, I feel like the only reason to do this is to really set him up to be important in the last season or two,
Bob
and Will, when the new campaigning, right? When Bob Russell is one of the leading candidates to be the Democratic nominee for president. I'm assuming with this that he's going to be.
Yeah.
That may not necessarily be the case, but I think they've set this up to where Bob is supposed to be underwhelming. When he came in, he said, "I'm going to surprise some people. Maybe will, maybe he won't." But I think with Will going there, I think we're setting it up to have this guy out of nowhere, right? That you don't see coming. End up kind of being the guy to take the reins a little bit.
They're definitely long gaming it then.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because we still have just 2.5 more seasons to go. Yeah,
I just don't know how to feel about it yet. You know what I mean? Because I almost feel like there's going to be a bit of an adversarial role between Will and the White House moving forward because of this. And I don't know that I like that. You know what I mean?
I like Will a lot.
I like Will a lot too. And I feel like this kind of puts him. You know how Amy's kind of in a fighting role with the administration because she doesn't work for the administration, she works for the first lady.
Sure.
Even though they're kind of on the same team. I think it's even going to be worse with the vice president.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal with the vice president, because we did this with Hoynes, right?
Yeah.
Every time Hoynes had to do something, that the president wanted him to do, they butted heads about it because how is this going to affect me moving forward when I want to run for president?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be so much worse now that we're in the second term.
Yeah.
And Bob Russell's there, and Bob's got to do stuff, and Josh or CJ or even the president or Leo have to go to Will and the vice president and say, we need you to do this. And there's like, I'm not going to do that because I'm running for president in 2 years or a year, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think this sets up conflict.
I want to see more Bob for sure because he still has to prove himself.
Right.
He wants to be a team player, but at the same time, yes, he has his own campaign in mind.
See, I don't think he does, though. I agree. I agreed with you until the last episode, until the episode where he made his pitch, because his pitch wasn't "I want to be a team player." His pitch was "Screw this administration; it's basically dead in the water."
I guess
think about the next thing. Think about me.
I guess that's true. I
don't think he cares about the administration.
Sure, I know. After that scene he had with Bartlett in the office, where he's like, "I know people say about me, I want to prove something." You know
right.
what I mean? it's more so prove it to himself then, I guess. Prove it to the rest of to American people, really.
Yeah, I don't think he's there to be a team
He's not
player.
there to coddle Bartlett. He's there
Right.
to-
I think he's ambitious. I think it was make me your vice president, and I'll show you how awesome I am. I really do think it's
So-
about Bob's about Bob.
Do you think that we're going to get Gary Cole being kind of, I don't want to say gross, but kind of a not heel, but also foil of sorts?
Yeah, not a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really
Sure.
don't. But I think he might be
A road bump for Bartlett.
a road bump
There we
in the same way that Hoynes was often a road
Yeah.
bump. Hoynes, I thought was a really effective vice president. I thought he was a smart guy and very charismatic. I obviously
I
liked
Tim
him.
Matheson.
Tim Matheson, yeah. But I think that Bob is being set up to be a bit of a foil,
Okay,
and Will's by extension too.
that's not a bad storyline then. It's just weird that it's Will. You know, of all people in the show, it's Will.
Because he's so new
Yeah,
anyway.
so new, I guess.
Like I honestly, and like the leaving in the conversation felt like aren't you burnt out doing this? It's like, I mean, he's acting like he's burnt out, but he just got
He
here.
should just get here.
It almost seems like it would make more sense if Toby was the one that went to work for him than
Yeah,
Will,
it would.
because Toby's the one who's like, I don't want to do the day to day. I want to
Sure.
focus on big picture. If the answer, I think that in the writing, if the answer was no, right? If the answer was no, shut up, you're going to handle the speech stuff.
Mhm.
We're not giving you what you want. He might have been like,
Hey, Toby.
yeah, exactly. But Bob could have gone to Toby, and Toby could have seen that as his chance to do big picture stuff.
That would have been an interesting choice too for Toby's character.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, well, yeah. And again, also like everything else, we could be completely wrong.
Sure.
Maybe I don't know. I almost said maybe Will's a great guy to work with the White House, and so's Bob. But I don't see how that works as a storyline. I really don't.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to go and get started here? We'd like to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us. We'd like to give a special shout out to Actuarial Looker, Balas Foldes, Chris, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Suya Gunavarapu, and Weird Magic. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're very happy you guys are here with us. If you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hi.
If you might like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
If you'd like to follow through reaction to this and everything else we watched or watching, please check out the link in the description below of our Patreon page on every show, including The West Wing. We're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon. If we're on YouTube, I'm going really fast because we talk too long. You want to sync and watch along on your own source material, you're only going to see us for copyright purposes.
The Sunday morning shows will hang Josh from a Klieg light, use him as a piñata. All of which is okay. We can't put a lid on the story, but we can try to control the schadenfreude. You've got to help him protect his image, project business as usual. He's got to do real work.
You met me outside, so when you told me Leo hadn't set a meeting yet, I'd be out of the building if I got upset.
Sam called, Amy called. Sam wanted me to remind you, you're gonna roll with punches.
So Sam called.
We're not going to see him.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I have to call my cousins.
Search and rescue crews are expected to reach the site within the hour.
You know what I think Will's going to do a lot now that I think about it? He's going to be in there trying to pump up the vice president to like, hey, make sure he's on the schedule for blah, blah, blah. Make sure when something good has to happen in a good speech that the vice president's
He's
there
there.
shaking hands and
That's gonna
handing
be
out the
annoying.
medals. Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Is the president going to Oklahoma?
I don't want him to be in the way.
Getting his picture taken with a family who just lost their house might play like he's trying to raise his number.
We send Russell. Nobody gets hurt.
In that case, the president sends his condolences and prayers.
Nobody's happy. You lost Carrick. I do, however, have to take you out to the woodshed and whack you with a 2x4.
Carrick was never
That's
really
fair.
a Democrat. Word is he was working the Republicans for. I'm sorry.
The president and I think you've been spread too thin. I'm going to scale
agree
back
with
your
that.
portfolio. Probably some of the legislative stuff.
Yeah, don't rock the boat right now.
Knowing Josh, you think you will?
I think he's going to have to do something to like something heroic to get back in
Eventually,
good graces. Yeah.
Confirm my dinner with Wilcox tomorrow. Make sure I have my
Great.
usual
It
table.
does, doesn't it?
That's good.
CJ, we need the VP to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I heard.
As soon as you get space and you're the vice president, I want your office back.
He hates me.
He made a choice. Now own it.
There you go. Yeah.
The president no longer trusts Josh Lyman to work with Congress.
Josh is one of the president's closest, most trusted advisors.
She thinks you should go. Really?
Yes, sir. We need this presidential moment. Let's not give it away to Russell. We can make the trip in 6 hours.
Let's do it.
Have him back in 5 hours, CJ.
And photo out.
It's one heck of a shot.
Yeah, it is.
Angela Blake, she is such a self-promoting, holier than everybody.
She's not going to give up a corner office with a view of the park.
This is really hitting him. guy from like, why do I have to go? To like him seeing this in person is really going to affect him.
Paying for a state-of-the-art howitzer is a bit like paying for a state-of-the-art bow and arrow.
Is that Terry O'Quinn?
I think it is.
I love him so much.
He's great.
The Secretary of Defense has requested interviews with all Army generals in line for a 3rd or 4th star.
All of them?
150, sir.
The Democrats on the Hill want you to sit this one out.
The meeting with Singer?
We need a fresh start.
You can't be too surprised, man.
Like Toby said, just take your punishment and move on.
Down,
Yep.
I just don't know what I'm going to do without her. I don't even know what to feed the damned cat.
If Hafley successfully links the tax cut to the stimulus package, he's going to steamroll us straight through November.
November? How about until you turn out the lights?
But he's not happy she's there.
Yeah, he looks like a solid ghost.
Yeah.
Your State Department briefing for the Chancellor's visit is in an hour, and I need you to sit with Singer about Cap Gaines tonight.
Have Russell do it.
Is he just avoiding going back now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, this went from being really nice and really cute to kind of being a problem.
What are you doing tonight?
Wizards Knicks courtside?
No.
No. No?
I can count on one hand the people I trust right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I get it. You are a pariah right now.
To be fair, this is day one, dude. Just
Is Angela Blake taking over legislative affairs? I just stopped Josh from wandering in here, finding his replacement sitting on your sofa.
Well, I mean, if she took the job and they were like, there's no way she'll take this as demotion, it must mean that there's something bigger on the horizon for her.
gotta be
Wilcox is running late.
No.
about that.
Sorry. He's not coming.
You keep taxing capital at 15%, you are encouraging people to stash their assets under their mattresses.
But the thing is, the Speaker is trying to propagate a tax bill onto an appropriations package.
Propagate?
We'll be happy to have you back, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow, Leo.
He's got so much going on.
Yeah. I think he's avoiding it.
I drive a school bus for the district.
That must be very rewarding.
I lost 4 kids on my route yesterday. What kind of a plan could this possibly be?
Hey, you want a piece of me?
Dang, Josh. Out of a building, yeah. His ego's so tied up in who he is that to know that he screwed up that big's got to be killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dying here. What time are you back?
The memorial service is scheduled to start around 10.
I want the president back here now, CJ. This was your idea. Fix it.
That's fair.
How was she supposed to convince Bartlett though?
Get in his face. She's had to do it before.
You can't believe the calls I'm getting from the DNC membership. State party chairs. No one wants you here.
Get in his face.
I'm sorry, sir. We need to go back to Washington.
We'll leave after the service.
No, sir. We need to go back now.
These people need me.
No, sir. They don't. Maybe they did yesterday, but now they need their town back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing here, sir?
Get back on the flock, man.
We have procedures.
I am trying to transform a military establishment that hates change.
You start handing out the stars, Miles, those generals aren't going to tell you anything you don't want to hear.
Hey, the war's over. They can fire him now.
Yeah.
I suggested they need to fire him. A lot of people are like, you can't fire some guy in the middle of a war, Secretary of Defense. Okay, fair. War's over.
Are we having a problem?
No, sir.
You resent me taking a few extra hours to console grieving people?
I resent you ignoring the responsibilities of your office. If you want to reach out and touch people, teach math in East St. Louis after your term expires. I can't imagine what it was like. I don't have children.
It's like I knew who I was, then I woke up one morning and didn't have a clue.
The world is too dangerous now, unpredictable. I need you back. I need you to lead.
I'm loving her right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she can say this to him, too. That's good for him. Good on him that he can let her say this.
My home machine, I have 52 hang in there messages. One from a headhunter.
The stuff we never have time for. Stuff we thought we'd fix when we got here, but we never did. Funding special education for kids with disabilities. Ammunition control, what gets a gun without bullets.
There's other stuff to do, right? Good on you, Donna.
the series, the composition of this season has been fantastic as well.
Yeah, and the production design hasn't changed at all. The lighting and the continuity and the photography hasn't changed at all.
It's still the same show that we love. You know, it's not. I wouldn't call it a step down.
No, not at all.
I'm loving it still.
Well, I know it's only been one episode, but it looks like Will's not going to be the problem that I thought he was going to be. It looks like he's trying to get in good graces with Toby.
Yeah.
I expected pushback. You know, like I think now that Will's job is propping up Russell, there's going to be pushback, and we didn't see that. And I was like, okay, I'm wrong, because Russell was told he was doing one thing and Will went along with it. Then he was told he was something else and Will went along with it. I stand corrected. Will, at least right now, Will hasn't been set up to be the foil that I thought he was going to be.
Maybe towards the end of the term.
Maybe.
You know,
as we get into campaign season, I think for sure.
Yeah.
But that might be 2 years from now.
Of course. And it was interesting to see that he did flub up that meeting as well.
Propelgate? Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, is he going to bring it here? And then, no, he was not. The one scene that he was in didn't go great. So he still got some work to do, obviously. Bob, I don't know, like, everyone's like, he's not that guy. And he's like, give me the chance to prove that I am that guy.
Wouldn't it be interesting if he's just not that guy? And Will's job is to try to take a guy who's not that guy and make him president?
That'd be
our world that we live in now.
I was literally try to dance around that.
Right.
But, I don't know. I mean, be one heck of a salesman if that's what Will can do.
I mean, he sold the dead guy once.
He did. That's what I'm saying. Like
But I like to think that Will's a better person than someone who would do their best to get a guy into the office that does not deserve to be in the office.
Sure.
Because remember, that was the thing in the first season on the flashbacks, right? Josh left Hoynes and went to Bartlett because Bartlett was the real deal and Hoynes wasn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a chance in heck so far that Bob Russell's the real deal. Maybe that changes.
This is like the opposite of that, right?
Yeah, it really, yeah. It's like he left the guy because, he's at the end of his career anyway, to go prop up the new guy. And it's like, why just any new guy? Like, I don't understand. I mean, from a character, I don't understand Will's decision to do it. And I don't know why the show chose this direction. Because it would be different if Bob Russell was the guy. You know what I mean? If you had any sense that, like, this is the man who should be in charge of everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think the show's giving us that.
Not yet, anyways.
Things will have to really change if they do.
I will say this. It is a choice. It is interesting. We're talking about it.
Right.
That's probably, like, it'll get people talking.
Sure.
Now, they're probably long gaming it. So
right, and
it must have some payoff, right?
Sure,
it has to be some resolution,
right? And Will may not work with Bob Russell the rest of the way through,
sure.
Even though that's clearly the plan.
Yeah,
they may not be what happens, right?
So hypothetically, if Bob fires him, says you're off,
or he quits because Bob is a joke,
exactly,
which I think is more likely.
Where does that leave him? Does he?
I don't know,
because I don't think he can go back to his old job.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that is a burnt bridge. Yeah,
basically off the show at that point. Which
right.
I don't think they're going to get rid of Josh Molina. I really don't. Especially somebody commented when Sorkin left, the cast contemplated leaving the show as well. And Molina was one guy that was like, "I say we stay because I just got here," and he's obviously friends with Sorkin, so like he's game to be on the show. He's game to do whatever. I'm just very curious to see what that looks like,
Yeah, and again, the show obviously can go into some really unpredictable directions.
I love that.
We have story arcs that, like, for 3 episodes will go off in a direction. It was like, whoa, didn't see this arc coming at all. They can completely change things. So, but I mean, we are into season 5 now, so we are at the point where you do start looking at, like, how does this wrap up? We're eventually definitely going to have people running for president.
Yeah, this is the second term.
We're gonna as we get through this season, next season, it's gonna be like, okay, now when do we have debates among all these candidates? When do we get the candidates? When do we have conventions? I think all this stuff's got to be on the show.
I want to see it.
I think the show's probably going to end on an election. Yeah.
Oh man, I hope so.
Right?
Because this show has shown us everything.
Yeah,
everything so far. I mean, even down to a fake kidnapping, or not a fake kidnapping, but like a kidnapping. You know what I mean? Like all these scenarios they bring up on the show, I find that interesting. And so the fact that they kind of showed us an election once already, obviously, right? But Not really, I guess. Like they showed the running of it. They showed.
We basically they say we saw people showing up to vote. We saw the numbers a little bit, but it had been established early
It was
on.
more behind the scenes,
right? Well, it was also established before Election Day that
Richie sucked.
and Bart was going to beat him anyway. So there was no real drama to it. So I expect, because we had such a low drama election this time, that in season 7. That's not going to be the case. We're going to have a close one with 2 completely different candidates, and Bob Russell's probably going to be one of them.
I want to see that. I want to see what his campaign looks like. I really, really do. And I want to see who he's running against.
Right? And not only that, if he does suck, which I think is an interesting choice, do you end up, even though he is the successor to Bartlett, do you end up rooting for the other guy? You know what I mean? The Republican choice instead.
If the show ends with a Republican president, that'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not unreasonable to. I mean, parties switch all the time in elections.
That's it's true to life.
Yeah, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility at all. But I do think if Bob Russell's your candidate, I don't think there's any way he wins.
Not right now. There's no way right now. No, they're gonna have to do a lot this few seasons we have left.
Right.
To really make him that guy.
He's gonna have to go through a really big glow up.
It would be the craziest character arc of all time.
It may. They have what?
I like Gary Cole. We both said we like Bob. So
we probably have 70 episodes of the show left.
Yeah,
you can do a lot in that amount
Especially
of time.
This show, look
right?
Look where we're at now.
Right.
So
I mean, we'll see. We're obviously making predictions of something we have no idea what's going to happen.
We should probably pump the brakes on that one.
It's fun to think about those.
It is really fun.
Now that we're way into the second half of the show, right?
Yeah,
we're way over halfway done.
Yeah,
we're 4 seasons down, fewer than 3 to go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting flourish.
We're still hooked.
Yeah.
We're still on board.
No, it's great.
You know what I mean? Like it's as interesting as ever.
Right.
So,
all right. We will catch you on the next ones, guys.
See ya.